today with my wrap up for the Booktubeathon. It has been chaos here all week, so filming had to be put on hold for a while, but I am back. Also, to make up for it, there will be a second video coming up shortly. Overall, I had mixed success with the challenges. In the end, I completed all of them except challenge 7, which was read 7 books. I only managed to read 6. Still, that is not too bad. Usually I only read about maybe 6 books a month if I'm lucky, so I mean, that's a large improvement. Thanks to that, I am now ahead of my Goodreads challenge, which is the silver lining. So now for the books I did manage to read. First up, we have Hush Hush by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is another YA Fallen Angel type story, and I really enjoyed it despite the character annoyances that popped up every now and then. This story pretty much follows a girl named Nora who finds life really difficult after a fallen angel named Patch enters her life. She unwittingly gets caught up in a war between fallen angels and immortals. At the same time, she's trying to figure out whether or not to actually trust Patch. Writing-wise, I really did love it. The description and the world held a lot of promise and was very interesting. The main reason I actually picked this up was because I came across a short story of Becca Fitzpatrick, so it was set in the Hush Hush world, and it really drew me in. I was kind of hoping that we would see more of Chauncey in the novel, because that's kind of why I actually picked up the novel in the first place. That didn't exactly happen though. We did, however, get a lot of Nora, which has its ups and downs. For the most part, I have no problem with her, other than the fact that if she wishes to live past 20, she might need to develop a little bit more common sense. You get to know her though, and you do adjust to her. Patch does also mess with her mind quite a bit, so you can't entirely blame her. He's a bit of a douche. Even with it though, I do find him to be a very interesting character. He has a ton of flaws and is in no way a good character. I mean, not even a little bit. But that is also what makes him interesting. It leaves a lot of room for character development, and I would love to see what he's capable of. The most vile characters usually provide the most opportunity for growth. Plus, they usually prove to be quite the puzzle to work out. Nora's friend, however, I can't even remember her name, something about V, I think. She just irritated me to no end. That woman almost literally has the intelligence of a brick. My hope is that she either falls away in the sequels or at least stops causing so much trouble. Plot-wise, I did at least still enjoy it. It's fast-paced, and although you may cringe, you're never bored. It has my curiosity, so I'll definitely continue with the series, if I need to finish it. I do enjoy the premise of it though, so I hope it will get better. In the end, I gave this one about 3.7 stars. The next book I read was The Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. This is such a beautiful book. It is filled with magic and is rich in everything Irish. I loved it. It is an adult romance suspense book. The story follows 3 cousins who are descendants from the Dark Witch. She was a witch who lived in the Irish countryside several hundred years before. When she was attacked by a sorceress, she transferred her powers to her 3 children. They then continued her legacy through their children and their children until the right 3 were finally reunited and the sorcerer would come again. The plot had everything you need for a really great story. It had the suspense, the romance, and the intrigue that just keeps you hooked. You also get to learn a lot about magic in that part of Ireland, which in itself is a fascinating subject. Character-wise, Connor is definitely my favourite. He is this happy-go-lucky, charming guy who happens to be clueless about women. The whole book pretty much contains a sense of charm. Everything had a sense of wonder to it. This wonder was matched by a fast-paced plot, great writing, and brilliant characters. I quite enjoy Nora Roberts' writing style, which should be evident in itself considering I have several tons of her books. I believe it's somewhere in the 20s. I definitely recommend this book, but if you're young, maybe skip it. The romance side of the story is geared more towards adults, and so there are a few explicit moments. In the end, I gave this one a solid 4 stars. The next book I read was The Reluctant Celebrity by Lori Ellingham. I was given a free copy of this book by the publisher in exchange for an honest review. It arrived just in time for the Booktubeathon, so I figured why not? When I first picked this up, I expected a fun, hilarious story about a woman hiding from the media. All the while, her ex-boyfriend sets about ruining her life and sending reporter after reporter her way. What I got was so much more. The story is set in a quiet town where everybody knows everything about everyone. Having grown up in a small town myself, I can relate. The cast of characters that ensue as a result will have you cracking up. Each and every person had a spark to them that simply brought them to life and made the story that much more enjoyable. A definite favourite of mine is the ghost-fearing Terry and the handsome Rich, though his name did throw me off a little bit at first. Jules, however, tops them all as she fills her role as lead character with a particular finesse only she could manage. The plot had me sprinting through the book to see what happened next. Mishap after mishap had me cringing, laughing, and wanting to smack the characters all at the same time. Writing-wise, there were 1 or 2 typos that I noticed. Other than that, I truly enjoyed the description used and how everything fit seamlessly together to create this epic tale. While the ending did become predictable about halfway through the book. Let's face it, the romance genre is typically predictable in its endings. I find that it's not always the ending that piques their interest, but how the characters actually manage to find themselves there. And trust me, what an eventful ride that was. I highly recommend this book to anyone looking for a sweet, quirky romance. It is set to have you giggling as the ridiculous events unfold. This book is also geared towards adults, so there are also 1 or 2 explicit moments. In the end, I settled on giving this one a solid 4.5 stars. And lastly, I finally got to reading the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. This series left me with a massive book hangover. It was really so good, I couldn't put it down. I doubt there is anyone out there that doesn't know what the story is about yet, but on the off chance that there is. It follows a girl named Katniss who volunteers for the Hunger Games in order to save her sister's life. The Hunger Games is basically a deadly game all the rich people use to remind everyone else that they hold all the power. Characters wise, I loved it. Katniss is so real and well-rounded, which I really enjoyed. Often, especially in YA, you get characters that are more superficial than anything else, and it really drags the story down. In this, you get to see all the sides to her. The good, the bad, and the sides that would have you cringe and shame. Which is brilliant because everyone has those sides to them. No one in this world is perfect. After all, these flaws are what makes us human. Considering all that she goes through, she's definitely one of the strongest characters I've come across in literature. Also, as a side note, the movies do not compare, not even a little bit. I also love Peter and how he manages to keep a sense of pureness and goodness despite everything that he has to go through. He is in many ways the perfect complement to Katniss, who embraces the darkness a lot more than he does. I also enjoyed Haymitch, who Katniss surprisingly lands up identifying with more and more as the story progresses. With regards to the writing and the plot, I find it pretty flawless. I love how it gets so dark and so hectic so quickly, and it just spirals down from there. Each scene sucks you further into the world. Every time you think you've hit the bottom, there's another chamber down below. I found the entire cast remarkable, and I cried several times because of them. You really land up getting attached to these people. The main reason that I landed up avoiding reading the series so long is because I'd already seen the films. I also had a lovely spoiler for the end of the 3rd book before I even started, so that just made me less motivated. When I got to that part in the book, I was sad, but strangely enough, it felt like I didn't really deal with it. I found that Katniss doesn't really deal with the news, and being in her mind, I couldn't really deal with it either. It's almost as if the reality of it didn't quite reach me. I don't know if anyone else experienced that. Maybe I'm just weird. Overall, I loved the ending to the series. At the same time though, a part of me wishes the other man stayed with her instead. There is a very valid reason why he leaves, and I can understand that, but a part of me really wishes he didn't. I don't know, I just can't let go of him. Either way, I ended up giving 5 stars to every single book. If you haven't read it yet, please do. Trust me, it is worth it. And that brings it into this video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like and subscribe if you did, and comment down below. What's your favorite book series of the year so far? Until next time, bye!